it to work, and I'ma gauge my progress by the sign of the word. Now I ain't yet a success, but yes, the word that I stress, cause by the time you hear the CD, count the steps.
Reminder. I think that I should give you a reminder. I think that I should give you a reminder. Yo, this is Pablo Rivera, and this is Make It Happen Mondays, right? From Watch Me Make It Happen. This is the third Monday. 1, 2, 3. Third Monday of the year 2024, right? And in the beginning of the year, I asked y'all, I said, yo, is everybody harvesting right now? Everybody reaping what it is that they sowed, right? Or are you reaping what it is that you didn't sow, right? So now you're looking left and right and you're like, yo, where's the achievement of my goals? You know what I mean? Where's the gift? Where's my celebration at? You know what I'm saying? But you didn't do anything, man. You didn't do anything to be able to enjoy what it is that the labors that you put in for, right? If you ain't put in no labor, you ain't gonna see no gift, right? You ain't gonna see no prize you ain't gonna see no light at the end of the tunnel, right? Because you ain't looking at the end of the tunnel, you ain't doing nothing. You trying to go that way, but you looking this way. It just ain't gonna happen. 1 + 7 ain't gonna equal 2. You know what I mean? It just don't happen. The math don't equate. The math don't math. You know what I'm saying? So check this out. Let's just do a quick review, all right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a quick review, then I'm gonna give you a little bit more time to be able to work on the things that you're supposed to work on, right? And then I'm gonna give you a little personal story, right, as it relates to all of this stuff, all right? And then that's gonna be it. You know what I'm saying? So you're gonna have a little bit more time to be able to massage this, and it's by design, right? So first things first. You know what? What's the first thing that came to your mind when I said first things first? First things first. I pop off, freaks. Anyway, right? Let's get back. Focus, right? All right. So 2024. First thing I said is we need to get them visionaries, right? Where are my visionaries at? And all y'all are visionaries. You know what I'm saying? If you care to dream at any point, you're a visionary. If you're looking at something and you can see its completion, I don't care if it's a Lego set. You know what I'm saying? But if you can look at something and you see that there's a completion to it and you can kind of walk through that in your mind, well, you're a visionary. So now all you got to do is practice that on your life, right? Practice that on your goals, practice that on your dreams, practice that on your aspirations, whatever it is, right? Become that visionary for you, right? Now, we should have already done that, right? You should have already been dreaming about what it is that your goals were and all that, right? And then the New Year's resolution, if that's what we're going to call it, right, is to be resolute in our pursuit of our goals, right? Cool, simple enough, right? So what does that mean, right? Or be resolute in the pursuit of your, yeah, that sounds real good, right? And I like it too, thank you, right? But all it means is don't take your eye off the prize. You know what I'm saying? Just keep moving forward. Keep moving towards your goal. But in order to move towards something, you got to know what that something is that you're moving towards, right? So that's what I'm talking about. Create that vision. I mean, paint a picture. You know what I mean? It should be crystal clear. Anybody, you should be able to pass that to somebody like, oh, I understand. I understand what you're doing here, right? All right, cool. In order to be able to move towards our goals, right? It don't matter how great of a detailed plan that we have. And we ain't even come up with the plan yet. I just said vision it, right? Envision it, right? All right, cool. So now what we're doing is we're going to start building up that muscle memory, right? We're going to build up that muscle memory so that when we do backwards plan that and we start putting the tasks in place that we need to do specifically that's going to get us from point A to point B, right? Then we can go ahead and do so. But it really don't matter because no matter how good of a plan is, if you don't implement the plan the way it was planned, you ain't going nowhere, right? So what I want us to start doing is in week 2, what I said is let's start deciding or determining how many good decisions we made, right? So, and you can break this down into however small, you know what I'm saying? It could be, I woke up when I said I was going to wake up. I brushed my teeth for 2 minutes. You know what I'm saying? I read whatever material I was supposed to read. I spent my time with my wife, or I spent my time with my kids, or I handed in my project to my boss in time, or I did the extra overtime that I was supposed to do, or I walked into the office hours with the teacher and I made sure I got the attention I needed. You know, whatever it is, right? Whatever decision it is that you made, right? I want you to be able to look at the decisions, right? And the longer the list, the better, right? But I want you to be able to look at the decision, and I want you to determine, all right, what was my decision, and what was the impact? Both the impact on myself and or the intended person, right? Was that impact a positive impact? Was a positive impact what my intent was, right? And if all that is yes, then we can go ahead and determine like, yo, you know what? That was actually correct. That was a great decision, or that was a good decision. All right, cool. Then I want to take it a step further. And I want to be like, yo, what was the environment that I was in that allowed me to make that good decision, right? So now that can appear to be the easy part, right? So now the more difficult part is all right, let's do the same thing with all them bad decisions, right? So let's go ahead and list them bad decisions, right? And then we're going to determine what was the impact, what was the decision, what was the impact on me, And what was the impact on the desired person? Did that impact happen? Was it a negative one, right? Now here's a little tricky. Was it intended to be negative, right? Now we're just talking about the type of person you are and all that, but was it intended to be a negative impact, right? Maybe sometimes it was a corrective action or whatever. If it was intended to be a negative impact, it's not necessarily a bad decision, right? But if it wasn't intended to be a negative impact, well, now that's a bad decision, right? All right, once we determined that we made this bad decision, what was the environment that we were in that made us make that bad decision, right? Why did I call that girl, right? I knew I shouldn't have. Why did I puff that joint, right? I knew I shouldn't have. Why did I stay up past my bedtime? I knew that I shouldn't have. Why did I not do that homework assignment? I knew that I should have, right? What was the environment that I was in that made me make those bad decisions, right? Because what we want to do is, now that we've determined what that environment was, is we want to put the controls on it, right? So that the next time we're in a similar or the same environment, we ain't making them same decisions, right? Because that's the whole thing. Right? Personal accountability. I made those decisions, right? And that's why I'm saying we ain't giving up. I don't know. I mean, we giving up. I don't know. We ain't saying that no more. And we giving up. You right. Right? All right. That summarized it, right? I just wanted to summarize what it was. So now let me just give a little bit of context as to why we're doing all that stuff, right? I'm sure that it's a change from your normal day-to-day life. I'm sure that it's a change from your first 3 weeks of any year. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure that it's a change of the trajectory that you're setting for this year that you would normally do before, right? I get it. I get it. It's uncomfortable, right? And I'll be saying all the time, yo, you need to get comfortable being uncomfortable, right? So now listen, I want to give a little bit of a story here, let y'all know how I am inside, right? And a little something that happened to me this weekend, right? Just to give it context, all right? So I have over the years have put myself in uncomfortable situations over and over and over again for the purposes of being comfortable in uncomfortable situations, right? And listen, to quote a phrase from my father, he told me, he said, son, over the last 10 years, the winds have been in your favor, right? And yo, I feel it. They have been. It's almost like any decision I've been making, I've been able to, whether if it was a right or wrong decision, I've been able to get positivity out of it. I've been able to gain traction out of it. I've been able to lay groundwork for future events or happenings. You know what I'm saying? It's all been working in my favor, right? And that's a fantastic thing. So, unbeknownst to me, I started to get comfortable. I'm pausing there because I want you to get that. I just finished telling you that the purpose was to get comfortable being uncomfortable. I didn't say just get comfortable, right? I want to feel the pain in my side while I'm there, right? Because I know I'm growing if that's the case. Well, over the course of the time, I set up my life so good, right, is that I was just comfortable. And the thing is, I was making moves too, you know what I'm saying? People are like, yo, you doing it. And I'm like, yo, I'm doing it, right? But the thing is what I knew I had to do is I had to take myself. So I knew that I had to continue to make myself uncomfortable. And that's what I did this weekend, is I took myself from my circle, right, where I'm moving and shaking comfortably, right? And if you're comfortable, you ain't growing the way you should. And I know that, right? You know that. That's the whole reason why we're doing this, right? So I went away this weekend. I took myself out of my circle. And I put myself in a circle of people who are much greater than I, right? And from there, I was able to see a mirror. And I don't know if that was the intended purpose, right? But there was a mirror placed in front of me, figuratively speaking, right? And I was able to point out all my flaws. You see what I'm saying? Now, listen, I ain't a negative person, so don't get it twisted. I wasn't sitting there saying, oh, look at what's wrong with me here, and oh, look at what's wrong with me there. I wasn't doing that. I was like, all right, okay, I see where my flaws are, and I see what I got to do to fix it, right? I also had opportunity to take my game to the next level, right? And man, yo, I tell you what, that was difficult. You know what I'm saying? It was difficult to commit to doing that. Not because I don't think I got it. Yo, I'm Mr. Watch Me Make It Happen. You understand what I'm saying? I do it. I make things happen. Yo, Pablo, you think, yup, got it. You know what I'm saying? But there's something that happened to me over the course of the years where the negative impact that would potentially happen ain't just hitting me no more. You see what I'm saying? The potential negative impact that can happen from my misstep ain't just happening to me no more. That potential negative impact has a much broader stroke. You see what I'm saying? I'm carrying my family. You see what I'm saying? With the assistance of my wife, right? We assist each other. I ain't trying to sit there and claim like I just do it all, right? My wife is the bomb. If you know her, you already know, right? But for the purpose of this conversation, like I'm at least one half of the stability, the growth, the comfort, and the love of this family. You see what I'm saying? So if I make a misstep, and it impacts me in a great way because, listen, great things can't be accomplished unless you do great things, right? Unless you sacrifice to great things, right? And that's what I'm looking for, is I'm looking to make them moves. I'm looking to continue to grow. Listen, if y'all knew me from before, some of y'all don't know me, right? And that's all right. And we'll continue to do this through our conversations and all that. But if you knew me, I ain't have really nothing. You see what I'm saying? And if you know me now, I got a lot more. Now, I ain't sitting here saying I'm rolling like, I'm not Scrooge McDuck swimming in my basement full of cash, right? But I'm a lot better off than I was before. And I want to continue on with that trajectory, right? So let me bring it back to this weekend. I'm putting myself there. I'm seeing myself in the mirror, and I have the opportunity to take it to the next level. And I'm like, this is kind of something here. I'm telling you, I got a little emotional about it, right? Because it was bothering. I forgot how it felt to be that uncomfortable because I'm so used to being the most motivated dude in the room. I'm so used to being the one that's got the idea and could bring everybody else along with them. People used to hate my guts when I was growing up. So like moms used to, wives used to, girlfriends used to, because they was like, Pablo only going for self, right? But nah, that wasn't the case. Every time I got up, I need to be up there if I'm going to reach down and help you and bring you up with me, right? We can't be sitting there all at the bottom of the barrel trying to push each other up. We ain't never going to make it out, right? So I figured, I looked left and right, was like, I'm the one that's going to make it up. So I did that, and every time I did, I reached down, right? And I helped my friends up. We all on the same level, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is, but there's still a driving force that's needed within that friendship group, right? And I was that driving force. I am that driving force, right? I have discussions with my friends sometimes, and they're like, Pablo, you know what? I don't have discussions like this with anybody else except for you. And I'm like, that's dope, you know what I mean? Because I get to provide that, and I want to pour into people, and that's what's up, and I want to continue to do that. And I love my friends. I ain't dissing them, all right? So when you listen to this, don't be thinking it any other kind of way. But what I do recognize is I need somebody who's going to have those conversations with me that I don't have with nobody else. You see what I'm saying? I need somebody to stretch my mind. I need somebody to stretch my abilities, right? Check this out. Let me tell you a little story. A story off of the story. It's all going to go back, right? But when I was younger, I used to write raps all the time. But when I first started doing it, I wouldn't spit for nobody else except for my brother. You know what I'm saying? Because I was polishing my craft, right? And my brother, you good, this is good. My sisters would be like, my cousins, right? Tell you what, it was good. Then I went to my immediate circle of friends, and they're like, that's real good. You know what I mean? You killing it. You got bars. It was cool, right? But I'll tell you what, I never actually told myself I was nice. I never actually told myself I was nice until I went to somebody else's hood and started spitting. When I'm sitting there spitting in front of somebody else, and they looking at me like, right? They wanted to off my head, you know what I'm saying? And yet I was like, nah, I was getting them, right? That's what it was. And that's when I knew, like, I got it now. You ain't going to get, I will not lose, right? And that's how I was, right? So now here I am doing all this speaking stuff, and I'm motivating, listen, again, y'all that know me, I've been doing this all my life, basically. I probably motivated and inspired you. I probably helped coach you out of some things, you know what I'm saying? But I'm trying to take it to the next level, both for those of y'all who I'm already helping and for those of y'all who I've yet to help. You see what I'm saying? So I'm there. I'm here. Now I'm going back to this weekend, and I'm there. And listen, I don't really know what else to do. I completely forgot. I don't even know if I ever felt this uncomfortable in another group of people, but I recognized, like, okay, they are stretching me now. And it wasn't like they was pulling me. It wasn't like, hey, you better do this or else. And that wasn't it. But it was the power of reflection. You know what I'm saying? And they was up there talking about what it is that they was doing and the trials and tribulations that they had on the path to what it is that they was doing. And I'm like, I ain't doing it. I'm not doing it. And that's all right because I'm doing a lot, right? So don't get it twisted again. I'm not sitting here saying I'm just messing up. But what I did was I identified that there was a level of comfort that my growth isn't all right with. You see what I'm saying? Listen, some of y'all out there like, listen, I can't wake up any earlier because I'm going to get some more steps in. I got to wake up earlier and I just can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Or I'm going to have to stay up later and I just can't do that. Some people are like, I can't be sitting there and just reading all of these books all the time, man. Like I lose interest. You know? Okay, fine. The thing is then you don't really want what it is that you want then. Long story short, let me tell you something, is I did what I was supposed to do this weekend, and I ain't going to sit here and talk about exactly what the specifics were because I ain't braggadocio like that, right? I'm just telling you that what I'm doing is better for me, to make me better so that I can help y'all better, right? I ain't dropping names, and you ain't going to see no pictures and all that stuff like that because that ain't what it's about, right? I'm not going to sit there and show you a Lambo and be like, oh, look at what I got. Truth be told, I don't got a Lambo. But what I'm saying is if I did, I'm going to be sending screenshots of it just so that you can see and be like, because I want you to understand what I'm talking about and I want to fulfill you here and I want to fulfill you here, right? I don't really care about all of this because with this and with this will come. You see what I'm saying? So anyways, I stretched myself out this weekend. You know what I'm saying? My mental, my emotional, it was stressed. It was definitely stressed this weekend. And I appreciate it, right? I appreciate it for so many ways. It stretched me in my understanding of myself in my speaking. It stretched me in my understanding of myself of my faith. It stretched me in my understanding of myself and my wife. It stretched me in my understanding of myself and my children. I mean, it stretched me in so many different ways. You see what I'm saying? And it was all good. But man, it felt uncomfortable. So the reason why I'm coming back here and I'm talking to y'all about this is because I know I'll be asking y'all to do uncomfortable things, right? And I'm sitting here like, yeah, I understand it's going to be uncomfortable. I know it's difficult. And I'm saying it like it ain't nothing, right? Well, I want y'all to know that I literally just put myself through it this weekend. And I'm not going to say I did. I kind of forgot exactly how it felt. You see what I'm saying? So I'm telling you, I empathize, I sympathize, whatever the empathize word is. I don't know if it's simple or whatever, right? But I feel you. I understand and I'm with you. And I ain't leaving you there by yourself. We're doing this together. I don't know if y'all remember, and if you don't, go back and look. I told y'all when I started this Watch Me Make It Happen, I've been doing Watch Me Make It Happen outside of social media for years. Again, you can go ahead and just ask my friends and they tell you like, yo, that dude always been doing it. And I probably helped them out. You see what I'm saying? So I've been doing it for a minute and now I'm here and I'm doing it for you. I need to be better. You see what I'm saying? And I'm always going to be better. I don't care. I've become the best in the entire world. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to always strive to be better so that I can be better for myself, so that I can be better for you. Listen, I understand. If you're putting yourself through some uncomfortable times, that jump hurts. And sometimes you might even get emotional about it. Sometimes you ain't even going to know why it is exactly that you're getting so emotional. But you getting emotional is because you know that you are going closer to your goal. As long as you are being resolute in your pursuit of your goals and you're doing the tasks that you put in place and you're moving that way. Listen, you eating that elephant. It's one bite at a time. You're doing it. And I'm proud of you. And I understand that sometimes you're going to be sitting there and you're going to be crying at night, wondering like, when am I going to get the results? Am I doing the right thing? Is this dude Pablo even know what he's talking about? Like I'm sitting here doing my steps. I'm drinking my water. I'm reading my books. I'm handing in my stuff on time. I'm waking up a little bit earlier. I'm staying up a little bit later. I'm staying positive. I'm reading the Bible. I'm praying. I'm doing all this stuff. And I just haven't had my breakthrough yet. I'm here to tell you to keep going. Keep going. Because it will happen. All right? It will happen. And we don't got the same timeline. We don't got your timeline is different than my timeline. My timeline is different than that person's timeline, right? But what we need to do is trust that process, right? And this is why I tell you vision is important, because you really got to know that you want it. Because on your way to getting it, whatever it is, on the way to us watching you make it happen, right? It's going to hurt. It's going to hurt. It's going to feel like maybe I'm making the wrong decision, or maybe this is just not worth it. And if you're going to sit there and talk about if it's not worth it, then your vision wasn't vision enough. Listen, I want you to listen to this video a couple times over. And I want you to understand that I felt that pain. I cried about it. And the only thing I was able to do, and again, I'm not sitting here trying to push religion or faith on you and all that other stuff, but I had to pray about it. Not only did I pray about it, I went and I asked somebody else to pray for me about it, to see if what I was doing was the right decision, right? And listen, I believe it was the right decision. I made the decision with myself, with the person who prayed for me, and with my wife, right? And we made that decision and we went ahead and we did it, right? And I'm telling you, y'all probably going to see some changes. Y'all going to see a whole lot of greater things coming out of here, more opportunities, and I hope that I'll be able to serve y'all better. No. Hope is not a course of action. I will be able to serve y'all better, right? And I'm putting that out there saying I will be able to, because there's accountability right there. You see what I'm saying? So, yo, stay tuned in. Listen, I'm hoping that this is helping you and inspiring you. Next week, we're going to go through it again. So the homework that y'all got from this week to next week is the same thing that y'all had this last week, right? Is that I want you to be able to list the decisions that you made and then do that identification process of if it was a good decision or a bad decision. And I want you to create, identify what those environments were and then list those as well, right? Because next week, what we're going to do is we're going to tally all those up, right? And we're going to look to see what those environments are. And then we're going to start working on putting controls on those environments or in our minds, because that's part of the environment, so that when we are in that same type of environment again, we don't make the same decisions. And even better yet, maybe we can just completely change the environment and make it so that we don't go in those environments, physical or mental environments, so that we don't make those wrong decisions, right? Listen, we're doing a fantastic job. It is literally the 15th, right? So this is Monday the 15th. You have had 14 days of good decisions behind you, because I believe you've been making good decisions. I believe in you. I believe that you've been making good decisions. And listen, we ain't robots, we ain't Jesus, and we ain't perfect. You know what I'm saying? So we are going to make some bad mistakes. I get that. Don't hide it. Don't hide it, because then you're going to be up in a situation like me where you're reflecting on yourself and you're looking in the mirror and you're starting to see all them warts that you didn't want to see. You know what I mean? You're like, dang, look at that blemish. That ain't cool. I didn't know I had that. You know what I'm saying? Because you weren't paying attention to it. You weren't being honest with yourself, right? So listen, whatever it is that those bad decisions are, it's cool. The bad decision is all right. Not accepting that it was a bad decision and understanding that you need to do something to change those bad decisions, that's the problem. That's the problem right there, right? So listen, I feel you. We doing this together. We growing together. That's the reason why the mantra is so important. You need to look at yourself in the mirror every day and you need to be like, my name is, right? Go ahead, you say, my name is, right? And then state your name. State your name in full. You know what I mean? Because that is your name. That was given to you when you were born. Somebody thought of that name and said, this is the name for my child. You know what I'm saying? You got that name. I don't know who named you that name. I don't know whose idea it was, but somebody put it on you and that's your name. So say, my name is Pablo Rivera. Watch me make it happen, right? That's what you got to do. My name is so-and-so. Watch me make it happen, right? Because that's all part of the mantra and you can do it, all right? Listen, I know it's going to be painful. I know it's going to be tough. I know it's going to hurt. I know it's probably going to squeeze tears out of you. It's going to squeeze stress out of you. You're going to be sitting there and be like questioning everything, and that's okay. That's how you know you're on the right path. If your vision is clear, and you understand why you want that, you have the vision and the why, right? We're going to make it happen. I'm telling you right now. So listen, just say it with me, all right? I'm going to say my name. You say yours. I want you to go after this. I want you to look at yourself in the mirror and do the same thing. But right now, just practice it with me, all right? Listen, it's the third week of 2024. I'm going to see y'all next Monday, right? But let's end it like this. My name is Pablo Rivera. Watch me make it happen. Ha ha!
Execution, you notice ain't no time to think about it, only time to react. Your intuition under pressure, weigh it down on your back. I scribble thoughts in my palm, I sing it when I get home. Organize my inner visions while I'm chilling and calm. A politician's mind state, that means I'm nice on my speech. Plus I beat the government with